Today we're talking about part of the makes I have made recently. Welcome to Southern Cross Stitches. I'm Em and I'm incredibly glad to have you here. Welcome if you're new and welcome back if you are returning. Today we're going to talk through some of the makes I've recently made. Now, what I mean by recent, I mean since August. I realised that August was the last makes post I've done. And as you know, there's been a lot going on, so I have been sewing, but I haven't been doing as many YouTube videos. So today we're going to work through a few, and you'll find that we're going to do part of my makes, another part, and then possibly a third part in the future. I've just got to get some permission from some people and some photos in regards to that one. So today we're going to talk about all the dresses I have made recently since August. And I actually have surprised myself with how many clothes, well, all up, but how many dresses I have actually sewn up. And I must say I'm pretty chuffed with all of them at this stage. Now, before I move on to them, I'll just quickly tell you about my top. This top is a Game On top by Pattern Emporium. I will talk a little bit more about this one in my next video, so you'll have to come back for that one. Anyways, let's get started. So the first make I'm going to talk about today is, nope, it's not that one. It is the Kalle shirt and shirt dress. So you can see just here hanging up, I have the Kalle shirt dress. Now, I made a size 14 in this dress. I'll grab him down for you, hang on. And I used a linen from Spotlight. And you can see it's got the stripes on there. Now, this is actually a really comfortable wear. It's probably not a style I would have normally reached for. But really cute with a pair of white sneakers and with a baseball cap on, and I'm ready to go. It would make such an awesome throw over for your togs and that on a summer's day as well, because it's cool, it covers everything, but it's not so long and heavy, and really wonderful make to have. I'm glad I've got it in the cupboard, and this would have to be one of my husband's favorites too. Not on him, on me. I'm going to pop in some footage of me doing a little bit of a twirl in it for you, so keep watching. So I actually found the Kalle shirt dress fairly simple to sew up, just following the instructions. And if there was some parts, particularly with the placket, where I got a little bit stuck, but I went to Closet Core's website and read through it and tried to just get my head around it, and then I was able to pop it together. So that was one of my makes. Now the second make, these aren't in order of what I actually made them, by the way, it's just what I'm showing, is the Charlie Caftan. And I made this version here. So I had some beautiful fabric, which I'll talk about shortly, that I wanted to make a Charlie Caftan in. But I did not want to cut into that fabric and mess it up, because It was investment fabric. Can you call it that? It wasn't cheap fabric is what I'm saying. It was quality fabric. So I had this rayon from Spotlight that I come across and I liked the look of it. So I sewed that one up. Now in this version, I did put in the pockets in there. You can see, possibly you can see it's not quite perfect in its section here, but was a great wearable toile that I could I can wear and I enjoy it. But I also got a few ideas on what I could do to make my next one even better for myself. So I'll talk about them soon. The other thing I did was I took off about 2 inches of the length. I'm fairly petite, let's say. I'm somewhere between 5'2", 5'3". I'm never sure. I have to look that one up again. But I'm only on the smaller side of things with my height. So I knocked off some length off the bottom. Yeah, so I'll pop in a little bit of footage again of me in this Charlie Caftan by Closet Core. Oh, I sewed a size, I think I did a 14 again. Yes. Now the next Charlie Caftan I made was with this gorgeous Godmother fabric, which I purchased from the Dahlia Society. And it is just beautiful. The quality of the fabric and the print is so unique. And this was my Christmas Day dress this year. There's a few changes I made to this dress to make it fit me and my body. Obviously, I still needed to shorten the length, but I actually did a little bit of shortening just in here. And this also, by shortening in there, I took it up 1 inch in total. It actually made the armholes just a little bit smaller, which means I don't have any gaping there now, whereas in the blue one, there's a little bit more gaping. So people can see my bra easier in this one than in my purple one, in my Godmother one. The other thing I did is when I was sewing up this one, I realized how easy rayon shifts. Now I knew that already, but it really did challenge me a little bit. And I wanted to get this one just right. So what I did is I purchased, let's see if I can get a good, I purchased this bias tape form band to help just secure those, sorry, something in my eye. Secure those edges before having to run it through, like do any stay stitching and that as well. Like it eliminated that process. And I find sometimes when you're stay stitching, it actually wobbles more. So being able to press that on was fantastic. I also used that on the inside, and I actually reinforced the seams. I think in some places it didn't necessarily require it, but definitely around all these corners, I reinforced them because I did not want that getting wonky. Now, a few different things. I took my time a little bit more with this one. So you can see here, I actually folded that one under and stitched it on that way, whereas this one, it's just overlocked and then stitched on. I didn't tuck the overlocking away. What else did I, oh, did I mention I took out the pockets in this mate because I felt like the pockets on here just added a little extra bulk around my hips, and I didn't particularly want that. That's my largest part, and I didn't want any extra bulk there, so I took the pockets out. But other than that, this is gorgeous. I got heaps of compliments on Christmas Day, and yeah, everyone loved the fabric, which was awesome. Lots of kind words, and of course a Kylie and the Machine label in there, one of a kind. Okay, I'm gonna flick you back over to a little bit more footage of me doing a little twirl in it. Here we go. The next second last dress I made, once again not in order, this is actually the last dress I've made, was the Dream On Tier Dress by Pattern Emporium. Sorry about the colour out there. And I made a size 14, and I think I made the knee length version with, now we're having a blank moment, the puffier sleeves, what do we call them? Bishop sleeves? And I made it in this double brush poly from Lush Fabrics. And I can't remember the name of this one, but I'll link all the fabrics and patterns below for anyone who's interested and wants an easy, quick link to things. This one is probably nearly as dark as I'd go because I don't tend to wear black. So I'd probably, with this one, I would wear it with a scarf or with something to break up the strongness of the black in here. But it's pretty cute. So that was my last make. I only just recently finished this week. It was one that had been sitting in my cupboard, cut out ready for winter time, and I hadn't got there. And as we are packing up, trying to sell and move, I was sitting there and I thought, oh, I finished all my other summer projects that I had cut out. I'm gonna whiz those ones up. So it did get made up, and it will go in my cupboard for this coming winter and autumn and winter. So I'll pop in some footage of me in the Dream On dress. Now the last dress I made was for a very special event that we attend for our business. Now if you haven't watched before, we own a butcher shop, and every year we go into what's called the Sausage King State Finals, where they judge sausages, they judge ham, they judge beef patties, they judge small goods, and all sorts of those sorts of bits and bobs. So this year we won our regionals, and we were in the state finals. And for the state final dinner, there was a special dinner, I decided I'm going to whip up a dress, as you do. And this time I sewed a pattern Emporium dress, and I sewed the Entice Me dress, and I absolutely loved it. It worked out beautifully. If I was to sew it again, there are some tweaks and changes I would make because I didn't actually sew a toile. I just went for it. I didn't have time. Last minute Larry. So here we go. It is, I did a high sort of boat neck, flutter sleeves, a cowl back, and what I used is this burnt out velvet from Lush Fabrics, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then for most of the inside, I used an athletics knit, an athletic performance knit from Lush Fabrics too, to go underneath. Now, there's only probably one thing I would change about this dress, is at the back where the cowl is, I didn't line it with the athletic knit. I just left it as the burnout velvet. In hindsight, I would line it. I think it would have given it a little bit more body to hold to my body a bit more. But other than that, it is beautiful. The other life lesson I have learnt: don't put it in the dryer. When I washed the fabric and before I'd sewn it up, I popped it in the dryer. The amount of fluff that came off was amazing, but I actually think it also took out some of the velvet. So it was silly of me as a lesson learned, but some of these lessons we only learn the hard way. Now I'm going to pop in some photos. I don't actually have like me doing a twirl as such, but I'll pop in some photos of me in the dress on the night, so you can see how it turned out. And I'll put in a photo of me with my husband too, and the awards we won. We actually won Queensland's best cabana. So we got first prize in cabana with our cheesy cabana, and we got first prize in the scalded sausage, which we won with our honey. It was just delicious. And so we will be off to the the national finals in beginning of February, which is really, really exciting. We'll take those two products down with us to South Australia. It'll be my first trip to South Australia. I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully we can take the boys with, and have a little bit of a family trip as well. So anyways, I'll pop in those photos for you all. So as you can see, I've actually been extremely busy behind the scenes. It doesn't feel that way at times. Sometimes it feels like you're like never in your sewing room, or I'm just coming in here to hide for a little bit of peace and quiet amongst a family of boys. But I really have got quite a bit done, and this is only part one. So if you want to give me a like or subscribe, that would be awesome. I am just amazed at how many people are coming on board and watching my journey and listening to the lessons I learned. Like, don't put the velvet in the dryer, Emma. That's silly. You can also find me on Instagram at Southern Cross Stitches, and you can also find me on Facebook at Southern Cross Stitches. So there are 2 other places where I will be putting posts up, and this year I'm going to do my best. Hopefully there's no more spinners thrown in the works. I'm going to do my best to sort of get things up more regularly and do more posts along with videos. So I'm going to love you and leave you there. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever you're doing. Enjoy, and I'm going to send blessings your way. See you later. Bye.